It's gonna be hard for him, but it's possible to Islam Makhachev wins the second belt. Islam will take lots of lessons from this fight, and maybe Islam will make some adjustment. It's possible. It's gonna be hard, but Islam can win the second belt.
Finishing this one?
I'm going to go for it. I would love, obviously, that'd be the best case scenario, get the finish. I can see it happening. I can see it blowing the roof off MSG, taking out pound for pound one, number one.
Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena are all set to fight at UFC 322 for the welterweight clash. Although JDM is the winner currently, but Merab Dvalishvili believes Islam will be too good for him and snatch the belt on November 15th. Bantamweight champion Merab Dvalishvili believes Islam Makhachev is capable of winning a second title against Jack Della Maddalena. He recognizes JDM as a dangerous striker but considers Islam tricky and adaptable. He expects Makhachev to take lessons from the Belal Muhammad versus Jack Della Maddalena fight and make the right adjustments. Although he admits the matchup will be difficult, he remains confident Makhachev can secure the second belt.
You mentioned Islam. He's moving up to 170. Do you think that he gets the job done and wins that title, or do you think JDM retains?
It's gonna be hard for him, but it's possible to Islam Makhachev wins the second belt. JDM is great fighter, great striker, but Islam is tricky. He has a good wrestling, and he's southpaw. He don't get hits, but he takes people down and he mauls people down. So, and also we all see the JDM Belal Muhammad's fight, and then I'm sure Islam will take lots of lessons from this fight, and maybe Islam will make some adjustment. It's possible. It's gonna be hard, but Islam can win the second belt.
Alexander Volkanovski shares his view on the matchup, emphasizing how dangerous Jack Della Maddalena can be for Islam Makhachev. He notes that JDM is preparing with full focus and calls him a nightmare opponent for many in the division. While acknowledging that Makhachev is taking the fight seriously, Volkanovski believes JDM has what it takes to succeed.
JDM is getting ready for Islam Makhachev. How dangerous is he for Islam? So he's going to be an absolute nightmare. You've got Belal, who's a wrestler. Look how we handle that. And you know he's a beast on the feet. Islam's not taking this one lightly. So him moving up, I still think he's a nightmare for a lot of the people in the division, but I think JDM can do it.
Meanwhile, Jack Della Maddalena rates Islam Makhachev as a different kind of challenge despite the similarities in their grappling styles. He considers Makhachev more dangerous because of his finishing ability and striking power. That combination makes the matchup more intriguing for him and motivates him to prepare for a unique test instead of treating it like just another opponent.
Better than Belal's, but he gets hit a lot more than Belal does. Does that give you confidence that you're going to be able to tag him a few times?
I mean, definitely, they're different fighters, different challenges. So yeah, obviously there's some similarities within like the grappling style, but yeah, I definitely look at Islam as a completely different challenge, different, more of a finishing ability, more powerful on the feet. So yeah, different challenge, and I'm excited for it.
Jack Della Maddalena reflects on Islam Makhachev's move to welterweight and explains that although weight changes can sometimes slow fighters down, he does not expect that here. Instead, he believes Makhachev will be stronger and more filled out at 170 pounds, predicting this could be the best version of Islam yet. He feels the higher weight class may end up benefiting Makhachev rather than holding him back.
It's your weight class. Do you feel like that's going to slow him down a little bit?
It's hard to tell. Sometimes the weight cut will slow you down. So I expect the best Islam. I expect more filled out, stronger. I feel like it's going to be the best Islam Makhachev has been. So yeah, I think the weight would probably be better for him, you know.
Jack Della Maddalena acknowledges it is difficult to predict Islam Makhachev's exact strategy, but he expects the fight to open on the feet before transitioning elsewhere. He believes Makhachev will mix things up and push for wrestling exchanges early. Looking back at Belal Muhammad's performance, he thinks Makhachev likely noticed that Belal's mistake was delaying the wrestling, so he anticipates grappling could come into play as early as the first round.
Do you expect Islam to try and strike with you, or do you think that his game plan might try and take you down?
It's hard to expect anything, you know. I definitely feel like he would test the feet, you know. I think it's going to start on the feet, and we'll go from there. But yeah, I think he's going to try and mix it up. I think he's going to probably try and get on the wrestling early, I'd imagine. Looking back on the Belal fight, he probably sees that Bilal's mistake was maybe not getting on the wrestling early. So yeah, I expect in the first round we'll get into some at least some grappling exchanges, you know.
On the other hand, Islam Makhachev is training at full intensity alongside Khabib Nurmagomedov as he prepares for his clash with Jack Della Maddalena. Determined to leave no stone unturned, Makhachev is focused on securing a second UFC belt. Moreover, Leon Edwards admits the matchup between Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena is difficult to predict. He points out that JDM is the bigger fighter with strong scrambles and questions whether Makhachev's size will be enough at welterweight, concluding that it remains to be seen.
What's your prediction for JDM and
Islam?
Makhachev?
I don't know. It's hard to. I don't know. I think JDM is good scrambler. He's a bigger guy. I don't know. It's hard to say.
Is Islam big enough? Is he going to be able to?
Let's see.
Tony Ferguson believes Islam Makhachev will succeed at welterweight. He points out that Makhachev has already defended his lightweight belt 4 times while consistently making weight, proving his success at 155. Ferguson views the move as a smart step for building a legacy, but also suggests Makhachev could end up avoiding challenges the way he feels Khabib did.
I mean, Makhachev fought how many times at 55?
He defended it 4 times.
That's much more, you know what I mean? And he made weight, you know what I mean? So, I mean, when it goes into it and you have that, I think that's a smart move. When you go up, you're gonna try to build legacy. You're gonna do certain things like that, and he's gonna run like his cousin.
Tony Ferguson explained that Islam Makhachev's success at welterweight will depend on how he manages his weight. He said Makhachev should stay closer to 170 instead of draining himself for lightweight, noting from experience that heavy cuts can be risky without proper care. Ferguson also claimed Makhachev is a sharper and quicker grappler than Khabib and predicted he would perform well against Jack Della Maddalena at 170.
You also fought at 170. So how do you think Islam will do when he fights JDM for that 170 belt?
Okay, so the best advice is to be able to walk around at that weight. The big cut going to 155 is bad. I mean, if you're able to, because even mine when I went to Dubai, like I cut from 70 something to like 64 and a half. I overdid it, wasn't paying attention. I should have took a fucking IV. I was sick of shit. If you're not having somebody monitor your weight and you're doing that and you're fluctuating, you're going to develop like a harder time to keep that weight and like put more weight on after it. But Makhachev, I'm going to tell you, somebody was telling me, who do you think's a better wrestler? Was it Makhachev or was it Khabib? And I think Makhachev is a better grappler, honestly. I think he's a little bit faster. I think with Khabib, I think he's just a little bit more, not timid of the freestyle that Makhachev presents, but I think Makhachev, he's not going to do so bad at 170. I think he'll be all right.
Gilbert Burns also praised Islam Makhachev's decision to move to welterweight for his fight against Jack Della Maddalena, saying 170 pounds suits him better, given past struggles with the lightweight cut. Burns acknowledged Islam as the #1 pound-for-pound fighter, but warned the fight could be closer than expected. Noting Jack's experience training with elite fighters like Alexander Volkanovski and Craig Jones, he described the matchup as highly competitive, even without a full breakdown.
Islam's working very hard. He's been saying vocal that he wants to go up to 170. I think he's a big boy. He killed himself to make 55. I think that's the right division for Islam. He just tweeted something after the fight that he will not vacate the title, and then he vacated the title. I don't know, but probably that was in the negotiation. Yeah, I like him moving up. I proving himself. He's #1 pound for pound right now. It's a good fight. Jack and Islam closer than people think, especially with Jack Della Maddalena doing a lot of training with Volk, with Craig Jones, those guys that kind of back the Islam on that first Volk fight. I think they're going to have a lot of info, a lot of study, a lot of answers. It's closer than people think, this fight. I really like this fight. I don't have time right now. I didn't have time to dig deep a little too much on that fight, but I think it's way closer than people think. And JDM has a clear shot on beating.
Meanwhile, Johnny Walker shared his thoughts on Islam Makhachev moving up to 170 pounds to face Jack Della Maddalena for the title. He said Islam has always been tough and technically skilled and believes he still has what it takes to succeed. Walker noted that moving to a new division brings new challenges, including stronger opponents and higher power levels, but he feels Islam can perform well.
Islam, he's going to be moving up to 170 from 155 to fight JDM for that title. Who do you favor in that fight?
I think Islam. Yeah, he's been a really tough fight and incredible technique for the last all his career, you know, and I believe he still can get it. But as I said, it's a new division, new body type, new power, everything. It's moving up. It's a big testing for him, but I believe he can do good too.
However, Chael Sonnen raises concerns about Islam Makhachev's decision to move up to welterweight. He points out that if Makhachev loses, returning to lightweight would not be simple with a new champion in place, while starting fresh at 170 could prove even more difficult. Sonnen believes Team Makhachev is approaching the situation expecting victory rather than preparing for the possibility of things going wrong.
I mean, what an incredibly difficult position to put Islam in if he loses. Now you're going to have a choice. Are you going to run back to 55, which, by the way, isn't the way you left it? There's a new king. Or do you start reclaiming the ladder at 170? It's an interesting question. Not one that I believe Team Islam is considering. I believe they are expecting to win.
On the contrary, Dustin Poirier feels Islam Makhachev is naturally built for welterweight and could do well in the division. He was interested in seeing how Makhachev handles Jack Della Maddalena, stressing that the opening moments and Jack's reaction to the takedowns would decide how the fight plays out.
Speaking of Islam, what's your thoughts on him moving up to welterweight?
He's a big guy. I think he's going to fill into that weight. He's a really big 155er. So I think his lifestyle outside of training camp is going to be a little more comfortable. And he'll fill into that weight class, no problem. He could be champion there for sure.
How do you think he does against JDM?
I think the beginning of the fight's going to tell the story, like how well JDM does at getting up, how well JDM does at keeping Islam off of his feet, off of his legs, off of the cage. It's tough to call that because JDM's a big guy, athletic. I'm excited about that. A lot of fun fights in the future.
On the other hand, Jack Della Maddalena stays confident despite the hype around Islam Makhachev's grappling and submissions. He said Makhachev would be too small to handle him and described him as an easy target. Backing his size, power, and finishing ability, Jack dismissed concerns about Islam's skills and warned that he would overwhelm him if they fought.
Your first defense is most likely against pound-for-pound #1 in the world, the lightweight champion Islam Makhachev. Talk me through about that particular matchup and what you think and how excited you are to prove yourself yet again.
Yeah, it's the dream first title defense, pound for pound #1. Get him back for Volk. We saw what Volk did to him. I'm gonna get him. He's too little. I'm gonna get him.
Meanwhile, Islam Makhachev's coach, Javier Mendez, made it clear they are not underestimating Jack Della Maddalena. He said it would be a mistake to view Jack as an easy fight, especially after his grueling battle with Belal Muhammad, where both men took heavy shots. Mendez praised Belal's toughness and stressed that with Khabib Nurmagomedov and other experienced coaches in the corner, their team is fully aware of Jack's skill, grit, and danger, and they are preparing seriously for him.
If we as coaches think Jack is easier, we're stupid. Yeah, we are very stupid. Then we didn't watch the Belal fight. Because Belal can take a hell of a shot. He can take a hell of a shot, and he took him. And he gave him two. Belal gave him two. So it was a war. That fight was a war. And you know what? For us to think it's an easy fight for us, you know, what kind of idiot coaches are we? Habib's not an idiot, and neither am I. And neither is Magomed, neither is Saif Safullah, and Muhammad, the other coaches that they work with Islam. We're not stupid.
UFC light heavyweight Diego Ferreira picked Islam Makhachev to win, praising his hunger and dominance at lightweight. He pointed out Islam's improved boxing and strong wrestling, saying he has all the tools needed to succeed, which made him the favorite in Ferreira's eyes.
Let's go Islam. You know, I think Islam he's hungry. You know, especially everything he did in the lightweight, and I think he's a much better boxer too. And he's wrestling, cannot lie. You know, I have so many things he can do in this fight, and you know, I probably I gotta go with Islam.
However, Navajo Sterling backs Jack Della Maddalena and predicted that he would easily beat Islam Makhachev in his first welterweight title defense. He argued that JDM's size and power would be too much, making it harder for Islam to rely on his wrestling like at lightweight. Sterling added that if JDM wins, talk of a future Islam versus. Topuria fight would fade, and overall he expected a very tough night for Islam.
You picked JDM to win. Now he's got a big challenge in his first title defense against Islam. Do you think he's got what it takes to beat an Islam Makhachev in his first defense?
People are going to say it's a wild take, but I reckon JDM smokes Islam. Shins him so bad. It's going to be so bad that the Topuria Islam thing will just be gone.
So you think Islam's wrestling won't be a threat to JDM just because he's a lot bigger?
He's a lot bigger, and when you watch JDM, you put him on the end of mid-range, he's just going to throw. That's hard to shoot in on. He's not going to be able to just abuse his size against him either. I think Islam's in for a rude awakening.
Similarly, UFC welterweight Jeff Neal picked Jack Della Maddalena to defeat Islam Makhachev at 170 pounds. While acknowledging Islam's dominance at 155, he questioned how it would carry over to the higher weight class. Neal highlighted Jack's takedown defense and strength training as crucial factors and expressed hope that Jack can retain the belt.
I don't know. We will see, because I've heard Islam's strong as shit. Like, especially like when he's fighting 155, people like always talk about how strong he is for the weight class. So we'll see how that translates to 170.
Yeah.
You know, I hope Jack's been working his takedown defense and in the weight room. You know what I mean? Don't embarrass us, dog. Don't let this 155er come up and take the belt, bro.
Who do you give the edge to in that fight?
Man, that's so hard. But I'm gonna give the edge to Jack, man. He needs to keep the belt at 170.
Meanwhile, Dan Hooker shared his thoughts on Islam Makhachev facing Jack Della Maddalena, expressing confidence that the UFC intentionally arranged this stylistic matchup. He believes Makhachev's team likely spotted something, but acknowledges it is a significant step up for Jack. Hooker noted that Jack is big and strong, and while Islam has a chance, he feels the fight leans in Della Maddalena's favor.
Pretty confident stylistically with that Jack Della fight to kind of gone out of their way to chase that fight down. So they obviously see something. I figure it'll be close, but yeah, that's a big step up. Jack Della's a pretty big boy.
Yeah. Do you think Islam can get past him?
He's obviously got I feel like he's got a chance, but I feel like that fight leans towards Jack Della.
Eric Anders expressed support for Islam Makhachev, acknowledging Jack Della Maddalena's striking and boxing skills, but highlighting Islam's wrestling as the decisive advantage. He noted that, unlike Bilal Muhammad, Makhachev will aggressively pursue takedowns instead of trading strikes, a strategy Anders believes will secure the victory for the lightweight champion.
I'm gonna go Islam. I really like Jack. I think he's like a superb fighter, you know, especially with his boxing and whatnot. He could catch Islam, but yeah, you know, he's clearly a much better wrestler than Bilal, and will actively seek the takedowns instead of just trying to stand and bang with them. So I think that Islam will get him.
On the contrary, bantamweight Davey Grant picked Jack Della Maddalena to win, pointing to the size difference as a major factor. While acknowledging that Islam Makhachev is a big lightweight, Grant believes moving up to 170 pounds gives Jack a clear advantage.
Oh, you know what it is? I'm gonna go with Jack. I think the size might be a bit of an issue. I know Makhachev's obviously a big guy, very big for lightweight as well, but I feel like it's a big jump to 55 to 70.
That's a wrap for today's video. What do you think about this epic showdown between Jack Della Maddalena and Islam Makhachev? Share your predictions in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and check out our other content for more exciting MMA coverage.